Hey, what is up guys, this is Cobb, and this is Numpkin, also known as the happiest cat alive. Welcome to the Drexthar Blood Twin special episode of Busted or Bad. Now, as you can see, my Drexthar is in some very hodgepodge gear, right? A lot of hand-me-down artifacts and stuff like that. He doesn't have any red stars, he's not awakened at all, and so this is actually going to be a very interesting test, right? How good is Drexthar Blood Twin on a budget? What can he do for your account? Is he worth building out once you get your hands on him? Of course, Drexthar is one of those free legendary champions that you can get simply by farming the tag arena, and so because of that, once you've got his fragments, you can fuse him during like a champion chase tournament or something to get some free points during that, and that's always worth doing, man. Even if you're not planning on using Drexthar on your account, those fragments are still always worth getting. Anyway, man, speaking of free legendary champions, you can kickstart your new raid account right now, man, with Elnoril as your free starter legendary, as well as grabbing 3 additional epic champions as you level up your account simply by clicking on the beginner promo link, which is down below at the top of the video description box. All you're going to do is be signed out of Plarium Play on your PC. Click on that link, it will take you to this webpage right here. Use this page to create your new raid account, and good old Elnoril will be waiting for you on your new account in your inbox as soon as you are done with the tutorial. You can then input beginner promo code Supreme6 to get your hands on Supreme Gallic, but this promo code will be expiring very soon indeed, so make sure that you get that done on day 1 of your new account while you can. But first off, Drexthar's kit, then we're going to cover where he's actually good in the game, and then we're going to build him in full nuka gear and see if he can one-shot people in live arena, because that's going to be hilarious, because that is always how we end these busted or bad episodes, right? Always got to end them with a bang. Anyway, man, the A1 is a triple hitter with a chance of placing HP burn, which is pretty good. The A2 is an attack all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown when bucked, 60% chance buck to placing provoke debuff for 1 turn. The chance increases to 100% if the target is under HP burn debuff, and will also place a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns if the provoke debuff is placed. Quite a simple champ with only a few skills, including the passive, which gives him a 75% chance buck to placing HP burn for 2 turns on the attacker when hit. This champion's resistance increases by 10 for every enemy under an HP burn debuff. And this is actually going to be very important for one of the areas in the game where Drexthar can actually perform very well. Man, so first of all, Drexthar Blood Twin in Hydra, man. And can I just say, dude, look at my lap right now, man. Oh my god. She is the greatest cat that ever existed. She just loves the pet, she loves the snugs. Oh my god, man. Happy little Numpkin, dude. Greatest name in the world, haven't you, little Numpy? Yay. Anyways, man, the Drexthar team that we're running right here, very budget, right? Haikatoon's all up and in there, forget the War Master of Thorian. He's a stand-in for like an Ugo or just any other champ that's bringing block buffs, debuff, right? Of course, Thorian's crazy as hell, but Royal Guard, a couple of epic support champions, nice and easy to get your hands on, and then the Drexthar is on the team to provide those HP burns against the Hydra heads, which are obviously very valuable, help to counter Poison Cloud, that kind of thing, do decent damage, and of course, to provoke the Head of Decay when it eventually pops up. And so that is what this run is going to look like. Now, of course, the Drexthar's not really going to do anything here because the starting 4 Hydra heads do not even contain the Head of Decay. Don't they, Numpkin? No, they don't, Numpkin. Numpkin knows that the Head of Decay is not on screen just now, man. So yeah, until one of the Hydra heads die, we're not actually going to get to see Drexthar do anything particularly special here, so I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. And this is just normal mode Hydra, man. The real selling point of Drexthar into Hydra is that he's so accessible, he's so easy to get, and when you're first getting started in Hydra, like normal and hard mode Hydra, just trying to get your first chests, in those earlier stages of your account, you're probably just not going to have access to many good provokers on your account, and you really want access to 2 or 3 decent ones to start building your first few Hydra teams for trying to get those early Hydra chests. You know what I'm saying? That's where Drexthar is really going to come into his own. Now, he's not super reliable as a Hydra provoker. It's only 100% land rate provoke if the Head of Decay is already under an HP burn debuff, you know, which is a bit of a problem. You can't always rely on that happening, and so if the Head of Decay is one of the first heads in the Hydra battle and your Drexthar's like quite fast and he goes first or second or something with his provoke, it's like a 60% land rate booked, and so you might have to restart the Hydra fight a few times until he lands that original, like that very first provoke in the Hydra fight, just to get the wheels, like get the wheels turning a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's skip ahead. Oh. And finally, Numpkin, well, I would say that Numpkin spotted the Head of Decay pop on up, but she's actually just passed out like crazy on my lap just now, so while Numpkin hasn't spotted the Head of Decay, the Head of Decay has popped all up and up over here, and so let's see if Drexthar can land his provoke on this sucker. Again, it's not under an HP burn because it's just revived, and so this is where the provoke is just it's a little bit sketchy, right, at that 60% land rate. It's coming up to Drexthar's turn just now. I think he will get his turn in before the Head of Decay gets to attack. Oh, and he just swings in with his A1 in the end. And so the Head of Decay is going to get to cleanse all of the other Hydra heads here and remove all of those debuffs, which is a bit of a disaster. It's going to throw a huge wrench in the works. There they go. A huge wrench in the works of all of our damage. And of course, that's why it's so important to get that provoke up and running on the Head of Decay. Drexthar goes in for the provoke now, and now he does land the provoke. A little bit late, but you can see he can operate as a provoker against Head of Decay. It's just landing it without the HP burn can be a little bit of a pain. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, he can do a job for you, man, when you're getting started into Hydra, no problem. He's just no HP burn, pun intended, not going to be setting the world on fire. Let's put it like that, right? Now, while Drexthar is a little bit of like a, I don't know, like 7 or 8 out of 10 champ into Hydra, what's great about Drexthar is that he can allow you to cheese your way through certain content in the game that would otherwise be very difficult to approach. Now, what I'm going to put Drexthar in right here, man, is a mix of regeneration gear with some decent resistance stats. And this might be how you want to build out your Drexthar for taking on Spider's Den, right? Spider's Den is one of those notoriously difficult dungeons to get started in as a new player when you have very limited resources on your account. And so by slamming Drexthar in resistance pieces, which by the way aren't very good, like the stat rolls on these pieces are almost deliberately not very good, just so that I can show this working while its stats aren't amazing. So you can see the substat rolls on these resistance pieces, not that great. The chest piece for the regeneration gear is also really bad, like crit damage, attack, flat defense, flat, oh god, it's just terrible, you know. But at the same time, some good regeneration gear are like good enough to get up towards like 60k health, 70k health, and then about 300 resistance is all you need to take Drexthar into Spider's Den stage 20 alongside a happy little support champion known as Syl of the Drakes, right? Syl is going to be bringing the revive and the healing to the team, as well as a stun in her kit as well for helping to control up the spiderlings a little bit. You can see my Syl isn't even booked, by the way, so to make this more reliable I could have a fully booked up Syl of the Drakes, but that's not necessary. And so let's take this Spider's Den team out for a spin, and you can see what Drexthar is all about in Spider's Den. If you want to build an HP burn style team and you're struggling to conquer stage 20 for the first time, which is a great Spider's Den stage to be farming, stage 20, this is going to be the team that I am running. We've already covered the Drexthar and the Syl. We're going to be running Haikatoon as the speed aura lead. She's also going to be giving us increased speed, and especially increased speed buffs to our 2 10-meter controllers, Ruella, who brings 10-meter control A1 and decreased speed debuff, and of course Armiger, who we are setting up to do nothing but spam the hell out of his A1 and just constantly control the Spider's 10 meter. So why does this team work into stage 20? Well, it's because the boss is Spirit Affinity, right, on the boss, and Drexthar is the only Force Affinity champion in our team, meaning that the boss, as you can see right here, is going to be very likely, very hungry to be attacking into our only Force Affinity champion, because it's going to be strong hitting into the Drexthar, right? That's the boss, and all of the Spiderlings are going to want to hit the Drexthar again because he's the only Force Affinity champ. This is why the strat can also work if you can make it to stage 24 of Spider's Den. The gear is just going to be a bit, it's going to have to be a little bit better, right? Some good speed and HP percentage rolls on your regeneration gear, so on and so forth. Maybe you need to push as high as like 350 resistance to resist the poisons in stage 24. Did I just pull that number out of my ass and completely make it up? Yes, I did, but I said it with some confidence, and so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. But about 300 resistance gives the poisons against the Drexthar about a 10% land rate in stage 20, right? And so very important, man, to get about 300 resistance on your Drexthar. So here we go, man. The Ruella's going to land the decreased speed against the boss. And again, we just don't want the boss to ever be able to attack in here. The Syl is going to come in and, oh my god, a stun lands on all of the Spiderlings. Like, okay, that's not actually a good thing. Okay. So let me just exit out of that. What I'm going to do instead here is have the Syl open with their A1 as the very first attack. You actually want the Spiderlings to attack in, right? Because they need to be picking up that HP burn debuff from the Drexthar. So well, there you go, man. I made that mistake live so that you don't have to waste that 16 energy. You know what I'm saying? So once again, we get the good old decreased speed come on in. The Syl is this time going to attack him with the A1. And now the very first attack that all of these Spiderlings get off, they're going to be all attacking in to the Drexthar, which is exactly what we want, right? That's going to be giving them all that HP burn debuff. There it is. First one goes up. Second one fails to land. Oh, then the Syl is actually a little bit too fast, so I actually want to slow the Syl down a little bit if I can. or if you're having this issue where the spiderlings aren't getting to attack in, you might want to slow down your sill just a little bit. But the point is, you can see that whether the spiderlings are provoked or not, it doesn't matter. They are all attacking into the Drexthar, and he's resisting basically every single poison, which is great. His regeneration gear and the sill's healing is going to help to keep the Drexthar alive. And then all we've got to do is make sure that the boss never gets a turn and that the Drexthar lives. And the HP burn ticks are going to do damage to everybody. You can see the HP burn ticks are starting to come in now. Every time a spiderling gets a turn with an HP burn debuff, it's ticking down the boss for 166,000 damage for every single tick. And that's what it's all about. Now, of course, this isn't just Drexthar, that's like the backbone of this team. The Sill of the Drex is very important as well because she brings the revive, right? It's not uncommon for the Drexthar to die against the spiderlings until you have like very, very good regeneration gear with great speed rolls and stuff like that. It can happen, but that's why the Sill also brings the revive too, right? It's just like a final sort of backup to keep yourself ticking. But as you can see, once the HP burn's up and running, the damage is kind of saucy, man. The boss starts to tick down pretty fast. And while it's not the fastest clear in the world, it is a path to clearing Spider Stage 20 quite reliably. You know what I'm saying? As you can see right now. Also, a fully booked Sill of the Drakes, again, is going to do this a lot better. She's going to have a lower cooldown on her stun and help to control the spiderlings a lot more. That would definitely help a hell of a lot. And help to keep the Drexthar alive as he is about to go down just about here. And of course, you can always speed up this clear a little bit more as well. Instead of running something like an Armiger, having like a Cold Heart, or something that can really smack the boss for like 1 million, 2 million damage, or something stupid. One of those max HP damage dealers, Cold Heart just being like the best, most optimal to run. That's also going to speed up the run by a hell of a lot. The Drexthar might actually live through this. Oh my god, sweet. The Drexthar is actually going to get to live. Never mind, he goes down right at the very end, right before the boss dies. But okay, it's not a very fast clear, but the point is that it's reliable with the right gear, and you can build on this and make it like a stage 24 viable build as well. It's just getting to stage 24, which is also Spirit Affinity for the first time. That's going to be tough, but that's just another way that you can build out your Drexthar. Now, it doesn't stop there. It's actually not a boss right now in the current Doom Tower rotation, but if you ever struggle against Griffin boss in Doom Tower, it's quite an annoying boss. Some people have trouble with it, some people just don't. I was one of the people who had a lot of trouble with Griffin. Another way that you can utilize the Drexthar bloodtwin and Sill of the Drakes combo in Griffin is to actually have your Sill of the Drakes be the champion that's equipped in just as much regeneration and immortal gear as you can. Make it so that your Sill is basically unkillable, still with decent speeds. Just make it immortal against the Griffin boss. Then all you've got to do is just have Drexthar in the team with enough accuracy to land his HP burn against the Griffin boss. And that's it. They can two-man destroy Griffin in Doom Tower. Drexthar is just going to die on repeat. Doesn't matter, as long as the Sill of the Drake is alive to revive him. Anytime the Drexthar takes a smack off of the Griffin boss, its HP burn is going to activate against the Griffin boss. And again, it's not going to be a very fast kill, but that is a strategy that you can use to take on the Griffin boss. Oh yeah, I should also mention as well while I'm here, I totally forgot about this, but when it comes to Spider's Den and Drexthar, building him up with that resistance that you need to resist all of those poisons is a bit easier than you think, because of course when he's placing HP burn against all of those spiderlings, once he's got 5 of them under HP burn, that's an extra 50 resistance that is gaining from his passive. I actually forgot to mention that a little bit earlier on. Drexthar is also pretty darn good into Eternal Dragon in Doom Tower, again because of how his passive works. HP burns on his A1 are also pretty good into Eternal Dragon, where a lot of your secondary skills are just sort of muted against that boss, and so he's pretty good there too. He's also exceptional into Frost Spider. Particularly good because you want to build as many HP burners on your account as possible anyway, because when you face Frost Spider in the likes of Cursed City, you're going to be limited in what factions you can use, right, for your champs against Frost Spider in Sintranos. So once again, I'm just going to go ahead and switch my Drexthar Bloodtwin's gear back to his old build, where he's sitting on like 318 accuracy, but this is again where Drexthar kind of comes into his own a little bit against Frostspider. I've switched up the team just a little bit so that Drexthar is the only HP burner. Why is he so good against Frostspider? Well, all those decreased accuracy debuffs makes it really, really rough to be landing your HP burns against this son of a gun, so I've got like an increased accuracy buffer on the team. But of course, Drexthar is also bringing increased ally accuracy in all battles by 70, right? Just getting the HP burn up against the Frostspider is like the biggest obstacle against this boss, and then it's just a matter of surviving and you just kind of win by default. And so that's what Drexthar is going to be doing on the team, and that extra accuracy aura is going to help us out with that. And let's see what he can do, man. And alright, man, here we go. So once again, Drexthar's main way of applying his HP, man, is just by being smacked by the boss. And so let's see if he can actually land this against Frostbiter. Oh, he just lands it straight up on his A1. Okay, that also works as well, thus proving that he's got enough accuracy to get this debuff landed at least some of the time. He did just resist a debuff right there, but yeah, it's like his only job in the team, really, is to get this debuff up and running. Given that this is the hardest difficulty possible, a Frostbiter, it is going to get some resists, I'm pretty sure. I should really try and build him out with just a little bit more accuracy, to be fair. Alright, and 7 minutes later, here we are. Hey, I didn't say it was going to be fast, okay? But a lot of these Doom Tower bosses, you only have to beat them once. Alright, there we go. It pops in the end, and there you go, man. There you have it. Another use for good old Drexthar bloodtwin, man, which is really what's cool about Drexthar, to be honest. Yeah, you can build him as like a general all-purpose kind of guy, and he's like a 7 out of 10 champ. He'll help you out generally in multiple areas of the game like that, but if you want to build him to specialize against a certain boss that you're otherwise struggling with, high accuracy, for example, against Frostbiter, or that regeneration resistance style against Spider's Den, or maybe just very, very high speeds so that you can run him as a more reliable provoker into Hydra, you can kind of bend and mold the little guy into being quite the specialist, you know, into wherever it is that you're struggling. Now, the main question is, however, can he nuke? And oh bloody hell, I've run out of my free gear removal. There goes one and a bit million silver down the sinker, and we still haven't fixed up his accessories yet, so wish me luck, boys. Oh my god, dude. The amount of resources I spend, man, unequipping this cat's gears and putting it on stupid champions that make no sense. Dude, we need free relic removal, man. Never mind free gear removal. Alright, let's get it on the Drexthar, man. Alright, I should really be waiting for CVC to do this, but screw it. Send it. Full crit damage amulet. Let's do this, man. The final stats that we are going to be settling on all up and over here are, let's take a quick peek, shall we? 335% crit damage, man. Not too bad. His health is embarrassingly low. His speed, I mean, he doesn't actually move so much as he kind of moves in the breeze a little bit like a potted plant, but that's about it. Very, very slow. The crit damage could be even higher if he had any red awakening stars on him at all, which would just be ridiculously hilarious. But either way, let's see what we can do with this in live arena. Nobody's gonna see this one coming. Alright, here we go, man. Last pick, Drexthar bloodtwin. Let's go, dude. How funny would it be, man, if he banned the Drexthar? What's funny is if I play... Oh no, what is this? What are you doing? Oh, I've got to ban that, otherwise it just ruins the fun. Oh, for God's sake. Dude, I hate that goddamn champ so much, can I just say? Okay, so the Odin gets banned. Even if we get to go first, we're not going to have the decreased defense, so... we are going to have to bear that in mind a little bit here, but let's see what Drex can do. Dude, I swear, man, if you're facing me in live arena ever, and like just a random rare champion gets picked or something at the end of the drafting phase, you already know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? It's so funny. Okay, man. Nice, at least we get to go first, so that's good, by quite a bit as well, to be fair. I think what I'm going to do is something a little bit like this, get up the increased defense buff, then I'm going to get the ally attack off against the Amans, just to get him down, and then here we go, boys. It's gonna be enormous. Oh, we still have decreased defense from the Queen. What am I talking about? Oh, 157... oh my god, dude. 171k damage is what I'm trying to say. We actually just smacked for there. Dude, his modifiers are not bad on the A2, by the way. He's got like a 5.1 damage modifier. Sorry, excuse me, I'm reading on the screen now. A 5.2 multiplier on defense when calculating his damage on that A2, man. So his AoE is actually not bad. Not that I'm recommending that you build out your Drexthar to do this, of course. Man, classic arena time. Now, I've tried to build the best team possible here when I'm doing this to do as much damage as we possibly can. With these big old nukes, weaken going up, decreased defense going up. I also do understand that I don't have an increased defense champ on the team, which would increase our damage even more, but I feel like there's only so much I can pack onto one team, especially because going first against enemies like this is kind of a problem when your Drexthar is 150 speed. So I'm kind of just doing what I can here to get around to using the Drexthar's A2 with as many modifiers as possible. Let's swing on in. Ooh, we actually had harder in live arena, dude. What is this, man? That's disappointing, man. Okay, final test. Because against Dragon Stage 20, it doesn't matter how slow we go, and I can be greedy as hell and even run Freya as the aura lead. In fact, wait a minute, I don't need to do that. I can run Androck as the aura lead and get an even bigger defense aura that way instead. Okay, let's just go ahead and throw this team in. The Freya is actually a little bit redundant in this case now, but whatever, man. Let's see how high we can really pump this damage now, shall we? So increased defense comes in from the Freya. The weaken and decreased defense from the Dracovorf. Doesn't really matter what the Androck does, but we'll just throw up some extra buffs, to be honest. He's just there for the aura. Increased crit damage from the helmet. And then it's time for the Drexthar to shine, boys. Let's go. Oh my god, man. 200Ks across the board. It turns out that if you do want to condescend to build your Drexthar as a nuker, can he nuke? He actually can. He can kind of smack a little bit. Now, it's on a 310 cooldown. He only has one AoE skill. This build is not recommended at all, but it's always fun to wrap up these videos with this. And with that, as I prepare once again to remove this cat's gaze and get it back on somebody where it actually belongs, is Drexthar Bloodtwin busted or bad? Frankly, I think that he's pretty busted. I think that as far as the free legendary champions go, he outshines most of them, especially on early game accounts, and especially because then you can start to tweak his build, to specialize him into certain areas of the game, maybe even for live arena as a nuker, who knows, man. As your account develops a little bit, you know, he can specialize into a certain area, so he's great. Love me some Drexthar. What a guy. Anyway, man, let's leave this one here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one. And hey, man, keep the champion recommendations coming in the comments. The more free champions that we cover, I think, early on in the series, it's going to be the better. Hey, if you're looking to start up a new Raid Shadow Legends account in 2025, make sure to get it done by clicking on my beginner promo link, which is down below the top of the gosh darn video description box. Click on that link, use it to sign up to Raid, create a new account, and to get Elnaril as your free starter legendary, as well as a few epic champions as you level up your account. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.